Okay, I don't... Oh, got it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do you want me to write that one over?
Nah. I think he wants to start. Just go for it. If I say it wrong, you know, I'm only the sports director. Why will my hair never stay back? See how a University of Arizona professor is doing his part to counter terrorism.
Learn about how the UA helps students find off-campus housing.
And find out what activities the Arizona State Museum offers Tucsonans. All this and more tonight.
This is Wildcast.
Welcome to the late edition of Wildcast. I'm Janice Yu.
And I'm Carol Ann Scott. Thank you for joining us tonight.
3 are dead and at least 100 people are injured after 2 explosions at the Boston Marathon this afternoon. People were rushed to the medical tents in nearby hospitals for treatments. Many people took to Twitter to post pictures and videos of the incident. Some reports said that injuries were horrific and some of the people had missing limbs. Headquarters were shut down and people were told to stay away from the area. 2 more secondary devices were found and dismantled by authorities. 48 Southern Arizona residents participated in the Boston Marathon today. The Arizona Daily Star reported that many of those runners had been accounted for and are okay.
The Arizona Board of Regents announced that they passed a 3% increase in tuition and an $80 increase in the school's library fee for the 2013-2014 school year. Resident tuition will go up about $300 and non-resident tuition about $800. The increase was deemed necessary due to heavy budget cuts that are being felt across the state. Students who attended the tuition hearing before the meeting were reasonably upset by the prospect of a continuously growing debt. However, student body representatives agreed that for the upcoming school year, a moderate tuition increase hike was needed to cope with reduced state funding. Only a few weeks away, most students have already secured their housing for next year. With more than 75% of UA students living off campus, there are many resources available for students still looking for places to live. Wildcast reporter Serena Nafarate has the story.
As students prepare for the end of the year, many are already planning for the next, whether it be a studio or a house. U of A students are looking. Apartment Locators is a free personalized service for customers having a hard time finding a perfect place.
We offer 3 different services. We find apartments for people, but we also privately list properties for owners that we know locally in the area that are, when you go to an apartment and you fill out the application, there's a lot of things that may get you told no, and we can bypass a lot of those through the owners that we list through this. So we've got a wide range of apartments, condos, townhomes. We have a number of listings over in Sam Hughes right now, pre-leasing for the fall.
Finding a home should never be a burden. Fortunately for students, help is never too far. Residence Live offers on-campus resources to help students look for off-campus housing.
Besides the housing guide, like I said, we have e-blasts that are going out to our students multiple times during the semester. We have a light board in the student union that lists all of our featured listers by location, and we have housing fairs that we provide a couple times throughout the year. We have our offices here in El Portal on the first floor that anyone is able to come into to ask questions. The guidebook and our website is a huge resource for the students. On the website, our featured listers are listed on there, and we also have a roommate finder kind of a thing. So if someone is looking to move off campus and maybe they're needing a roommate, they're able to do some search criteria for that. We are providing student seminars, if you will, for moving on, moving out. So we cover a lot of things in our guidebook. It teaches them things, what to look for in a lease, what you do if you have a roommate conflict, kinds of budgeting ideas and things for a lot of students that are moving off campus out into the community.
Reporting for U of A Wildcast, this is Sarina Nafarrate.
After the break, find out the weather for the upcoming week.
Hi, it's David Hasselhoff, the Hoff. Get Hoff with UATV. Stay tuned. Don't change the dial.
Come game time, pressure falls on the shoulders of this season's drum major.
For an entire week, there's golfing, food, drinks, and entertainment that doesn't stop when the sun goes down.
If you are not yet registered to vote, here's what an Arizona voter registration form looks like.
Bundle up, Wildcats, winter is almost here. Reporting from the UA Mall for Wildcast, I'm Shay Sorensen.
People may tune out someone they see on a median trying to sell newspapers.
Those extra few hours of having to swipe your CAT card to get in at night might be keeping non-U of A students out of the library.
And while some are traveling to Mexico for cheaper gas, others are forced to pay those high prices at the pump.
Students and parents are always invited to come cheer on the Wildcats.
We'll see you back here next week for another edition of Wildcast.
Welcome back. Now it's time for weather with our weather reporter, Shay Sorensen. What do you have for us this week, Shay?
Good evening, Wildcats. The forecast for this week parallels what we experienced last week very closely. A low pressure system moving eastward across the southwest created gusty winds this afternoon at about 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow, gusts will pick up to 25 to 40 miles per hour as the system carries on eastward. What's different about this system is no rain will follow here in Tucson, but the White Mountain region is expected to see a slight chance of showers. With these high winds comes blowing dust, so if you are expecting to travel along any of the major highways, please look out for warnings or go to www.az511.com to check for closures or dust storm warnings. The high today was 84, and we can expect the same for Tuesday. The low pressure system will not only bring gusty winds, but it will also cool down daytime highs to about 72 degrees on Wednesday and Thursday. As the low pressure system exits the southwest, temperatures will pick back up as we head into the weekend, with Friday showing a high of 81 and a high of 86 on both Saturday and Sunday. This week is looking like classic Arizona with clear skies prevailing throughout the week. That is all I have for you now, but enjoy the nice weather, Wildcats, and I'll see you next time.
A Tucson fixture for more than 120 years, the Arizona State Museum offers activities for people of all ages. Wildcast reporter Cassandra Manriquez has the story.
The Arizona State Museum is not only the largest anthropology museum in the Southwest, but also the oldest. It offers programs to the public throughout the year. This past Saturday, a special festivity took place.
April 7th marks the 120th birthday of the Arizona State Museum. In celebration, the community came together for a cultural event.
The day's activities involved digging like an archaeologist, weaving baskets, hunting a mammoth, and creating paper tissue flowers, along with many other hands-on activities that teach children about the traditions present here in the Southwest.
I'm growing corn. I watched them, and we did that. Kind of hard to grind the corn. It's like, if you go sideways chopping it, it will go everywhere. If you put it up like standing up, it's gonna not go everywhere.
Live demonstrations took place throughout the day, performed by local artists to teach the guests about their traditions.
To teach about cultural crafts of different native tribes from the area. And so, there's artists around here today who are demonstrating their particular traditional arts from their tribe, and it's very diverse, different things, different mediums that we each use and that have been taught to us, some of us, through many generations that have been taught to us.
Guests also had the opportunity to watch live performances, including ballet folklorico and deer dancers, A local artist, Luis Valenzuela, gives back to the community through his gifts, and his art is used in the spiritual deer dance.
And the deer dance is one of the oldest traditional dance of our tribe. We do not let people take photos or recording of the singing they're going to be doing in our language, because it intercepts what we do in bringing the blessing to this world from the flower world.
Reporting from Arizona State Museum, I'm Cassandra Manriquez for Wildcast.
It may be hard to notice when living on campus that it's the season for babies. Baby quails, baby rabbits, and baby birds, that is. The Tucson Wildlife Center, located on East Speedway, takes an injured baby and adult wildlife and nurses them back to health. The center's mission is rescue, rehab, and release. At this time of year, especially with all this wind we've been experiencing, the center gets a lot of calls regarding birds that have fallen out of their nests. If you happen to find an injured bird or other desert animal,
raptor,
call the Tucson Wildlife
Center.
Center.
Even if it can't fly, still has use of its primary weapons, which are its claws, its talons. They can grip very hard and give you some really deep puncture wounds. So those are always best left handled by professionals. If in doubt, it's always best to call us first.
If you happen to find an injured bird or other desert animal, call the Tucson Wildlife Rehabilitation Center immediately at 290-9453, and they will come to where you are and pick it up.
After the break, find out how a stabbing interrupted the Country Thunder Festival.
I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UA TV. Don't change the channel.
Country Thunder was back, and it was bigger than ever. However, the music festival took an unexpected turn when one man was stabbed multiple times. 20-year-old Austin Hansen was arrested and found guilty for the stabbing, which was said to have escalated from a minor argument. The victim suffered multiple wounds to his upper back and rib cage. He was immediately transported to Scottsdale Healthcare Osborne, where he underwent surgery. This year marked the 20th anniversary of the event, and producers for the festival said that they hope the public realizes that incidents like this are beyond their control. They also said that they hope that the stabbing did not prevent people from enjoying their time at the festival.
Now it's time for sports. On Sunday, golfer Adam Scott became the first Australian to win the Masters after he defeated Angel Cabrera in a two-hole playoff at Augusta National. Scott and Cabrera went back and forth before Scott won the green jacket after sinking a 12-foot birdie putt on the second playoff hole. Cabrera had birdied the 72nd hole to tie Scott at -9, which sent it into a playoff. It was the first major championship win for the 32-year-old Scott, and ninth career PGA Tour win. Jason Day, Tiger Woods, and Mark Leishman rounded out the top 5 finishers. 14-year-old Ting Ling Guan finished 12th overall, placing him 58th in the tournament.
The Arizona Wildcats baseball team continued their hot streak, taking 2 out of the 3 games from Washington State and Pullman. The Wildcats won the final 2 games of the series after dropping the opener and have now won 8 of their past 9 games. Junior outfielder Johnny Field was a star of the series, driving in 6 runners in 3 games. The Wildcats head home to take on rival Arizona State on Tuesday. First pitch is set for 6 p.m. at High Corbett Field. On Saturday, the football team held their second spring game at Kindle Field Sunset Stadium on the UA campus. Wildcats quarterback combined to throw for 349 yards and 8 touchdowns, including a 97-yard touchdown pass from B.J. Denker to Tyler Slavin. While the game provided excitement for fans, 22 players did not play because of injuries, and coaches held out another 8 at risk of injuring themselves. Speaking of injuries, head coach Rich Rodriguez announced after the game that star wide receiver Austin Hill will miss the entire upcoming season due to a torn ACL. Hill, who was a second-team all-conference pick last season, will have 1 year of eligibility remaining. While Hill's injury is bad news for the Wildcats receivers, the team got 2 pieces of good news last week as well. Former Phoenix High School standout receiver Devontae Neal announced that he will be transferring to Arizona from Notre Dame and will apply for a waiver to play immediately. Also, wide receiver Terrence Miller was granted a sixth year of eligibility after missing the majority of last season due to injury.
Well, that'll do it for us tonight on Wildcast. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, you can watch us online at uatv.arizona.edu or on our YouTube channel, UATV-CH3.
If you haven't already, be sure to like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Janice and Carol Ann for on-campus news updates and events.
We'll see you next week for another late edition of Wildcast.